This is Saskatchewan Weekend. I'm Dan Reynish. Thank you very much for tuning into the program. You might remember back in June, in fact on June 8th, Friday, June 8th in East End, Saskatchewan, our friend Dominic Liberon put his canoe into the water on his way to canoe all the way to New Orleans. And we'll get into the reason why in just a moment. You might remember that. Well, we've caught up with him once again. He's here to check in with us this morning on the program. Dom, where are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm talking to you from Memphis, Tennessee.
Wow. Now, the last time we talked to you, were you in South or North Dakota?
I was in South Dakota.
Okay, and there was some wind problems on the rivers there, but since then you've made it to the Mississippi, through St. Louis, and now into Memphis. So how have you been? How's the trip been?
Well, I've been doing very well, and the trip has gone well as well, and I don't have problems with the wind so much anymore, but the river levels between St. Louis and Cairo, Illinois, were exceptionally low. In fact, I would say the lowest they've been since 1940, from what I've heard. And there were some spots where the river bottom was actually showing. So that was challenging because there wasn't a lot of current. But we've had some rain, and the river's picking up again.
So when you get into those areas, did the canoe get stuck at any point?
I never got stuck, but there was basically no current. It was hard to make any kind of progress.
Well, I guess it's good with all the exercise you're doing that you lost some weight on this trip, so otherwise you might get stuck on the bottom of the river there.
Yeah, actually, I've lost about 12 pounds on this trip, so it's 12 less pounds to have to canoe with.
Well, here we are. It's December 16th today. You left on June 8th, so here we are a half a year later, and you are still canoeing to New Orleans on behalf of your great-uncle Mitch, mon oncle to many people in the Gravelbourg area. Does it feel like half a year, or does it? It seems to me like a heck of a lot longer than that.
You know, it's strange. It does feel like it's been a long time, but on the other hand, it seems to have gone by very quickly as well. It's definitely been kind of a time warp in some ways.
All right. I don't have the map in front of me, but I know you know this. Are you more than halfway now? Are you almost there? For folks that don't know the map or the geography between Memphis and New Orleans, are you almost there?
Yeah, I'm quite a bit beyond halfway. Halfway would have been around Sioux City, Iowa. And I have 735 river miles to go to get to New Orleans.
And has there been a turning point for you? Like I received some messages from you right before you went into the mighty Mississippi River, and by went in, I mean turned in, not fell in or anything. Well, was that a turning point for you, or was there a turning point for you so far?
Yeah, that absolutely was a turning point, because I had been on the Missouri River for 4 months. And the Mississippi is the final river, so I viewed arriving in the Mississippi as the home stretch.
I've never asked you this. Have you got an arrival date in New Orleans? Like, do you know when you want to get there?
You know, I was hoping to be there before Christmas, but with the river being as low as it was, it's not going to happen. But I don't have a set arrival date because there are so many variables that go into a trip like this. Mm-hmm. But I'm thinking about another month, and I'll have this done.
Another month, okay. Well, for those that didn't know Mitch Hamon, mon oncle to the folks in the Gravelbourg area, Dominic is his nephew, and Mitch Hamon is one of those great guys. Communities have people like this that everybody knows him, everybody loves him, everybody hangs around with him. Unfortunately, we lost Mitch a couple of years ago, and Dominic is out there doing this in honor of his uncle. So for those that haven't heard the story yet, let's let folks know why you're out there. Dom, why are you out there canoeing to New Orleans in honor of your uncle?
Love. I was fortunate to have mon oncle Mitch in my life, and I want to honor that. And so I'm going to take his ashes to New Orleans because he had visited the city in 1992 and fell in love with the place and absolutely loved it and talked about it the rest of his life. And actually, November 21st was the 2-year anniversary of his passing.
Yeah, that was. I remember seeing some Facebook posts that day from some of your cousins and other people, and I was thinking of him that day. How was that day for you?
You know, it actually wasn't difficult because my uncle was such a positive factor in my life that I feel very thankful for the time that I had with him, and obviously I wish that he was still with us, and I wish that I could share more of my life with him. But I'm very, very happy of the role that he played in my life. So I looked at it as a positive day, and I tried to remember all the good aspects that that he provided my life rather than dwelling on the pain of losing him.
The pain of losing him came, some might say, at his expense to some of the choices that he made in his life. So you're also out there raising awareness for people and hopefully preventing anybody from losing their uncle at a young age the next time. That's
right. My uncle did make some lifestyle choices that did have a very significant consequence on his heart. And so I want to raise awareness, and I want to encourage people to think that they don't just take care of their health for themselves. They also do it for the people who love them and who would miss them very much if they passed away prematurely.
Well, let's turn it around now. So you mentioned the happiness of Mitch. You're there in Memphis, one of the world's greatest cities with some of the best barbecue food you're ever going to have. Are you taking some time to take in the sights and see places when you stop in them? Or is it just, I'm here, I'm going to stop for a day and rest, I'm going to get supplies, I'm going to keep going? Like, are you going to go down to B.B. King's restaurant and have some good pulled pork barbecue? Please tell me you are.
Well, I haven't had a break since Omaha. I've basically been paddling nonstop for 2 months, and so Memphis was definitely on the list of places I needed to get out and explore. And I actually met a gentleman called Dale Saunders, who invited me to stay at his house for a few days so I can rest, get supplies, and he took me to a place called Central Barbecue. Oh. And later on this weekend, we're going to go to the Rendezvous, and I told him and his wife that I would treat them to a good barbecue supper. And definitely going to check out Beale Street. My uncle was a huge fan of the blues, and I couldn't just pass through Memphis without visiting that.
Beale Street is amazing, but listen, let me give you some advice. When they offer you catfish, just have something else. They really want you to have the catfish. I don't know why.
Okay, well, I think I might go for the pulled pork.
Hey, you know what? It's Christmas. You're away at Christmas this year. Is that something you're thinking about, or are you focused on getting to New Orleans in honor of mon oncle?
I actually haven't thought about it too much, in part because it doesn't look like Christmas here. There's no snow, and the weather hasn't been that cold. So to me, I actually haven't thought about Christmas that much, and I think it'll be interesting. It'll definitely be a Christmas to remember. I'll be on the Mississippi. Well, the good news is, since you're traveling, I don't have to get you a Christmas card because I don't know your fixed address at this point. So know that you're in our thoughts here on Saskatchewan Weekend at Christmas. Dominic Liberon is canoeing all the way to New Orleans in honor of his uncle, and you can go onto his website, canoe2neworleans.com, to get all the information, to see some photos. And if you'd like to support his efforts and help learn more about heart disease, you can get all that information on the website, canoe2neworleans.com. Dominic Liberon, hey, may the wind be at your back. A happy holidays, and we'll speak with you again in 2013. Sounds good. Thank you, Dan, and happy holidays to everyone back home.